Sure. Okay. Hi, students. Good evening. Let's wait for 5 more minutes for the other students to join. Hello, everyone, and a very good evening to you all. Welcome to our Facebook Campus Industry Expert session, streaming live here on YouTube. My name is Anushya, and I'll be your host for today's session. So, this series is designed to bring you valuable insights directly from the industry leaders, helping students like you stay updated with real world trends and opportunities. Today's topic is especially exciting InsurTech Age. With insurance technology rapidly evolving, this session will help you understand how innovation and digital transformation are redefining the insurance industry. And it's my great pleasure to introduce our expert speaker for today, Mr. Abhijit Singh, consultant at Infosys. Mr. Abhijit Singh brings extensive experience in consulting and technology solutions within the financial and insurance domains. Today, he will be sharing his expertise on how InsurTech is disrupting the industry and creating new opportunities for professionals. So, before we begin, a quick note to all our live viewers. You can post your questions anytime in the YouTube live chat. We will take your questions towards the end during the Q&A session. Now, without further delay, let's get started. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Abhijit Singh. Over to you, sir.
Hi, thank you, Anushka. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. Well, my name is Abhijit Singh, and I'm a domain consultant in Infosys. Prior to this, I was working with ICICI Lombard as a product manager. I've done my engineering from Chennai SRM in the mechanical engineering aspect, and I've done my MBA from Bill Institute. So today, I'll be taking on the subject that is InsurTech Edge. For the last 5.5 years, I've been in this industry, and safe to say that this has been the most interesting and most stable industry yet for me. I mean, for all the people that I also know. And yeah, so going further ahead, InsurTech Edge, where today we'll see how the traditional insurance is meeting the new digital age, how they're coping up with it, what they're doing for it, and what is there in the kitty. So I'll just quickly go through the agenda. First is insurance fundamental. I'll give you a very small brief as to what this industry is all about, why do we need it, what happens over here. Very small brief, not to give you a very detailed aspect about insurance, just as to why we are doing what we are doing. Then comes the insured revolution, how technology is in transforming the upcoming traditional methods of insurance, then some real world applications, and at the final end, we'll go to the career opportunities in this field. This is very important for those who wish to have a career in this field, be it from engineering background, commerce background, or arts background. I'll show how each one of you can contribute and can join this industry and have a good career progression path. So going ahead, so what is insurance? Insurance is basically a protection coverage. It brings you back into the same financial aspect as you were before any calamity has happened to you. Think of it as a big brother who would have your back. He won't help you all the times, but he would have your back when you get in trouble. Similarly, insurance is that same aspect that we are not there with you all the times, but when you get in trouble, when you get into a claim aspect, when you get into some sort of financial situation, we are there to help you come out of it. And insurance is basically everywhere. You look around, every single thing that you look around is somehow related to insurance, be it your health insurance, be it your vehicle insurance, be it your home insurance. You have some business, you run some factory, you need a property insurance for that. And if you are someone who's sending your goods from one place to another, again you need insurance too, so that nothing happens to that good in that time frame. So think of it as a you know for car. So many of you drive car, and if anyone meets an accident, you need to be back into the situation where you won't lose out a lot of money. So for that instances like these, we have this whole concept of insurance. It brings on a lot of risk management, where a lot of people pull in their money through premiums, and then when you face a loss, the certain amount of claim is paid. Then it brings a financial security. Most of all, I'll give an example to you. Long ago, I mean, I think 4, 5, 6 years back, I had an accident. It was car accident, and my car was totally damaged, and my bill was around 1,21,000. I was a student at that time, and honest to be honest, this is not something that a student can pay. It was my father's vehicle, and 1,20,000 is not a small amount. But the good part was that I had a financial coverage for me, and that is why I couldn't. I only had to pay some file charges or some copay sort of a thing, which was only meager $1,500. So for me to overcome that, it has and there is many instances I've taken mobile insurance. I usually drop my phones a lot. Uh, they help me pay the money for the repair of that thing. So in such situation, there's a financial security that you get, and there's obviously economic growth for business holders. For factory owners who face a loss. Suppose there's a fire. Suppose there's an accidental claim or whatever it is. So they can mitigate those risks. Going ahead. So this is the insurance market in a nutshell, be honest. You can see it is a 25 trillion market. This was a 2024's data, and annual growth is around 12 to 15%. India, as a country, we do have a 3.9% global share in the insurance premium that's collected all over the world. Okay. And if you look at it, then insurance penetration basically in the GDP, that is the amount of money that is you know earned through the insurance sector, the contribution in insurance sector in the GDP. India stands at some 3.7 or 3.74%, 3.7%, yeah, and the global average is 7.23 for the developed countries, of course. So you see, we are nearly half of the global average, and at this figure, we are still operating at 25 trillion market, and the expectancy to it reach to that global average, it shows that there's a huge opportunity that is yet to be tapped. It is one of the biggest untapped market in the whole world, and it offers a variety of professions, be it sales, be it technology, be it operations, you name it. And as mentioned, it has industry has employed some 2.7 million people directly. So that's a huge amount. And from a personal experience, I would say that it is one of the most stable professions, especially for someone who's starting off their career. uh, if you have student debts, if you have you want to buy something for yourself, build a home, own a land or something like that. So this industry is one of those which really provides you that stable job satisfaction. You won't find people who'll say that I got kicked out or I got laid off. That is for the last 2 years we've been seeing a large number of people getting laid off from their jobs. But from my personal experience, I've never seen anyone got laid off just because the company is not performing. And to be honest, every single insurance company that I see is performing. They are having good profits. There's no problematic scenarios in the firms. Although it's a financial conglomerates, but which is not very interesting for people like you, the Gen Zs and Alphas. But safe to say that it is one profession that you can, it is one industry that you can get into, have multiple professions in it, and then progress. So now let's come to the InsurTech. This was all the brief about the insurance. I won't get much into it. So now let's get to the main part of our lecture, the InsurTech. Basically, InsurTech is insurance and technology. So insurance and industry is kind of slow in adopting to in adoption. For when you talk about adoption of technology, insurance has been not at the forefront of this digital pickup. In fact, it is now after COVID that we see a lot of changes, and now that is why I say it. Right now is the perfect time for a lot of individuals from diverse backgrounds to get into the industry, because now we are opening our arms. If you see, you might not find a lot of vacancies in the industries such as tech or manufacturing, but currently in insurance there's a humongous amount of jobs that are still not getting fulfilled. There's a huge manpower issue that we are facing, and for that I think it is a very great time to invest yourself into this industry. So now, yeah, InsurTech, it is basically using the best of technology along with the financial product that we have, and together we form more efficient, more profitable, more user friendly, insurance solutions, platforms, and subsequent services. And how it emerged, because lately the shift of the user has gone towards more faster claims. I don't want to spend a lot of time reading all the terms and conditions. I don't understand. For a lot of people, these financial terms are very tough to grasp, honestly. uh, these are very specific legal terms which require expert to help you with. I've got a lot of friends who come up to me and ask that, this is my health insurance policy, this is my that policy, this policy. What do I do with it? Which one should I buy? Is it good enough or not? So for these things, for problems like these, and to create a trust with the new generation, the insurance has to embed itself with the technology part. So going ahead, the leading insurance players right now in the market are Policy Bazaar. Everyone knows Policy Bazaar. You can do your comparison among the different products that you have. Digit Insurance, the India's first digital insurance industry. Lately, they won. I think yesterday or day before yesterday, they won the award also for the best fintech of the year. And Niva Bhupa is again another InsurTech, which is focused on health insurance and echo instant claims. Apart from that, there are more, companies like Turtle Mint, CoverFox. CoverFox is again same company which gives you the comparison between your travel products, your motor products, your health products. Then you have Top Insurance, which is specifically designed for the new age generation. They have very small bite size products such as dengue insurance, cycle insurance, and travel, daily commute products. Very interesting. And there's one more called Plum, which is a company which has dedicated itself into providing health insurance solutions for big companies. Suppose if you're working for a company, you obviously get a health policy for that. It's mandatory in India. So these are called group health products. So this company specializes in providing you that products with while giving you a very best of user interface, and they have these videos and the tutorials to understand what the product is and what they are doing. All those things are there. So let's quickly go ahead. Yeah. So what technologies are there which are reshaping this world? You know, what is it that insurtech, insurance, we know what is insurance, but what are the technologies that is embedded it so that it gives a great user experience? So very first is the very common and very thrown around word these days, artificial intelligence. Second is the blockchain, then IoT. So let's talk about each of them one at a while. Now, first is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is basically, if I have to give you a very brief example, a very quick example is a chatbot. These days, if you check out any company like Policy Bazaar as a chatbot, ISIS Lombard as a chatbot, everywhere you go, you get a chatbot where you can go ask your questions. You know, try, it gives you an answer. It will help you with the queries. If you are a claim, you can put in your claim number. If you want, specific product, or if you want to understand something, you just put in your question. It'll give you the answer. So it is the artificial intelligence that is running behind that. People have put in a whole variety of data behind it. It reads the vast data and precisely gives you that answer which you are looking for. So yeah, As I said, Policy Bazaar's AI chatbot is a very great one, and it works on multiple languages also, and it's available 24/7. So you see, the dependency on a human has gone down. And if you ask me artificial intelligence, I'll give you one more example of artificial intelligence. Uh, I was working on a project where people are getting hired, but we were we were asked to get the pain points as to what they're facing. So the biggest pain point that came up to us was the data entry. In today's date, nobody wants to sit in front of a laptop and look at some data from a page or from a mail and put it into a system. So these are the kind of tasks that are not really helpful nor it is beneficial for an individual to do, and it's a lot of time. So what we developed was basically an OCR platform where you can just send an image. You just put an image or it's an Excel sheet. You click an image or turn it into a PDF or whatever this thing format you have, and then send mail it to the platform. It will read all the information by its own. It doesn't matter if that information is in a structured format or non-structured format. It can be anything. You can put your name in this side and answer on the other side. You can tell that my health insurance coverage should be this much. It reads all of it, and it brings out the information, feed into the data, feed into the system, and all the data is processed, and it gives you back your quotation. So when you buy insurance, you fill that information part, and you get your quotation back, which you where you have the premium details and everything, and you check, okay, these are the coverages that I get. So all this was getting processed, and this process used to take somewhere close to 35 to 40 minutes, because we don't just work on insurance products which are there for retail level, not just the health ones or the motor ones. These are the products that we cater for the big industries. Suppose I am a guy who owns this big rubber factory, or some I have some automotive spare part factory. So these are complex cases which require more detailed information about the prospect. So these informations, and we brought that tat from 45 minutes per iteration to merely 6 to 7 minutes. And this 6 to 7 minutes includes the time that you send the mail and it's on the server and everything. That included, it's the 7 to 8 minutes. And by this, my workforce was able to spend more time on talking to the client, spend more time on converting that deal. So when people say that artificial intelligence is taking the jobs, it's not taking your job, it's basically empowering you. You just need to know how to make the best use of it. And we ran this survey also. We saw that the people who were using this platform to quickly just share the mail and get their quotations had more business compared to the people who are still doing the manual work. And there was a lot of fear among the people that since we do this won't, but that was not the case. At the end, the company also wants the people you work for also want that your workload comes down to a level that it has become comfortable for you, all the while you remain profitable for the company. Then another example of artificial intelligence is the risk assessment, where once again, sorry, yeah, the risk assessment part. So when you take a life insurance policy, it asks you a lot of questions. What is, do you smoke or not, do you drink or not, what is your age, do you go for adventure sports, do you have any a medical condition or something like that. So this creates a huge data. Now pricing for these things becomes very tough. Now the AI, the artificial intelligence helps us in doing the data analytics, the predictive analytics basically for these cases, so that now I don't need to personally see, come and see, okay, this is the case, these are the data points, I should have given this price. No, now the system can do it. My job now will be to work on the data, work on the more detailed part of it, become expert on the the person who gives the logical reasons behind these intelligence parts. So these are the things which artificial intelligence is helping: chatbots, data entry, and predictive analytics, all these things. Now comes the interesting part, which I personally find very interesting, is the blockchain technology. Blockchain technology basically is your if there's a contract, and it's a smart contract basically, so nobody can alter it, and nobody can tamper it in a way that it hampers your whole coverage section. So how it works is basically, I'll give a real example. You might have heard last year, or maybe last year, there was a lot of pollution in Delhi. I mean, it's every year, not the last year. There's a lot of pollution in Delhi. So Digit Insurance was one of the first insurers who partnered with one of the brokers, and they made a product which was AQI based product. Now this product, the Sturia, this product, what it basically is, if the AQI levels, I'm sorry, AQI levels went beyond a certain threshold that is, given by the government, that now it is dangerous. So the workers in the construction field, they would automatically be given a claim without them filing for it. So imagine, this is especially good for the farmers, for whom there's a lot of drought happening, or there's a flood happening, and if they have taken this sort of coverage for them, then this technology helps. It checks whether the rainfall has happened beyond a certain threshold. If it has happened beyond a certain threshold without filing for a claim, without anything, they'll just send the money to your account. This is the power of this technology. And Lemonade was one of the first companies to come out with it, and they helped around 7,000 farmers in Kenya. And Digit also did this in uh, somewhere in Greater Noida, where the temperature rose by, I think, 45. It was greater than 45, 46, and they give the payout because that would bring the drought situation. So the farmers already had the money in their hand. Now they had the time to prepare the resources. If they know that the farming land, the crop is not going to be as productive as they thought it would be, they can use that money and be in a safer financial situation. Another example of this, and a very good example of this, is travel insurance. A lot of you might travel from flights, and so there's a concept. I'm not sure how many are aware of it, but if your flight is delayed or missed, or if your flight is delayed, basically, then the airline is supposed to pay you. But a lot of us don't know this information. So there are startups who made use of this, and now they see whether, if the timing of the departure has been altered by our airline, they quickly settle that claim, and then they take the money from the airline at the back end. But the great part is that if you are getting late, you don't need to pay attention much to these things anymore. You just get paid directly. And I don't know if you use this functionality or not. If you book a cab through Uber or Ola, you'll see, if your destination is an airport, you'll always see a travel insurance. They'll try to sell a travel insurance also on that part. Like if you miss your flight, or if there's a baggage related problem, they'll quickly send this notification to you. So these are the examples of this technology which are coming up, and it creates a sense of uh, ease of distribution. You don't need to have your salesperson in the field on the ground 24/7 to go and seek out people. You just put in a small system, and now the clients, based on their usage, can do that. A lot of times happened when I knew that my flight, I was kind of late, and I knew that this flight is gonna get late. uh, I won't name the airline which usually does this, but yeah. So after a while, I started taking this travel insurance, and to my surprise, I always see that the claim experience was so smooth, because this technology showed them that the flight has been delayed, and as soon as they were delayed, the process would start. Next is Internet of Things. These are the connected devices which sends information, and based on that information, you get a personalized premium. I'll give an example of this. There's a product in the industry right now, the motor product only. Now the premium won't be your premium won't be similar to the other guy's premium. It will be based on telematics. What that is, these are the devices that are installed in your car. So based on your driving behavior, based on the way your challan number, the number of challans you get, or the speed that you travel at, the basic behavior of driving, it analyzes all those features, and based on that it gives a premium. it and it is good to know that if you have a car and you're not using that car a lot, it's kind of parked at your home only, then it reduces your premium a lot. So that's the beauty of it for the client also, that even if I have a vehicle and now it is mandatory for me to buy this travel insurance, but I usually take public transport, I don't travel my car a lot, then it helps me in reducing my premium. Same is for the health insurance aspect. A lot of countries, again, lemonade, and what they do, they provide these health variables. So you wear a device, all these watches that you get, the health wearable watches. I forgot the name of this one firm. It is based out of Bangalore, and they make the very cool variables. So what they do, they analyze your data, they analyze your heart rate, they analyze your whether you're sleeping, whether you're proper sleep or not, whether your heart rate, your what do I say, other health conditions related to that are getting stored in that variable. They process that, and based on that, they give you a reduced premium or a higher premium based on your health condition. So again, it's very beneficial for those who try to have a a healthy lifestyle, and they can get a premium subsidized because by use of these things. So these are the main three technologies. Apart from that, there's data analytics. Chunk of data is there. I think in the insurance industry, I have seen so much of data, so much of data, because it is one field that is related to every single field. I kid you not, every single aspect of work you can imagine comes under purview of this. There's so much data that sometimes it's mind-boggling, to be honest. And that is where the data analytics come in. Data analytics, you have got a lot of data analytics tools like Power BI and all those. Then there's cloud computing. Cloud computing is basically scaling your the main use of cloud computing is basically scaling your business. Suppose I'm someone and my company is based out of Delhi, and I want to expand my global reach. I cannot keep my data infrastructure at every space that I keep my employees in. So that is where cloud computing comes in. You can upload your main data, you can upload on these servers, and you can upload any new product that comes in, and you scale products at a very high speed. So this is where cloud computing comes in. And then mobile first, this generation, I kid you not, the amount of people browsing for insurance on the just on the phone, I mean, hardly I see people who are visiting the traditional structures of insurance. Although those who what these guys are doing, they first go to the policy bazaar, they check the premiums, and then they go and talk to a broker or an agent. So the technology is right now at the forefront, with this generation being the highest tech dependent generation that has ever seen. So going ahead, these are some of the InsurTech success stories. Again, Lemonade, this is a global, it's a US based firm, and it has got two bots. One is Maya, and another one is what's the one? There was one more. The Maya is the one that is helps in processing claims, and the success story is that they were able to process a claim within 2 seconds. That is the world record of any company to process a claim. It took 2 seconds for Lemonade to process a claim. It's a very huge milestone, especially because when you get into a situation where you're not able to come out, or be financially secured, it's a very bad situation to be in. And firms which are focusing on such uh, differentiator, like customer service differentiator mindset, are the ones that will help the customer. Next is the digital insurance. Again, paperless insurance. You don't get a policy copy in a paper. You get a document. Again, they were the ones with those parametric, the ones I are talking about, where the weather can be very bad and they still you get paid your claim. And then again, the telematics use. So again, it's a very digital friendly company, not one of those traditional insurance firms which are working solely on the basic green file situations. Green file is basically all those paper sets. Then Echo is another firm which is doing very great in the motor sector specifically. They were the ones who pioneered the WhatsApp based claim processing. And on the WhatsApp, you can file your claim, you can see the status of your claim, and any other details that you want regarding your policy coverage, all those. Apart from this, as I was talking about, I mentioned Plum. Now, a couple of days back, I saw this post on LinkedIn where it was mentioned, a man has very beautifully mentioned, written that the people at Plum, the infra at Plum, the uh, way they have explained him through his videos, through through this customer service was so great that they even told him that what kind of product is beneficial for him. And this is not coming from a man or a human. This is at first level coming from a system which tells you that what exact product fits for a family. So he just put in that what work he does, how many family member he has, and based on that they asked him that what is your spouse do, or what are your kids future financial goals, what are your goals, and basis on that they provided him a variety of products. And between those products they also told him that these are the two or three specific ones that you could put your money in. Now we all know all the firms that the product they sell usually gives them more profitable picture, but this one company is the at the forefront of uh, providing very nice customer values. They'll tell you the right product at the right price, and they don't want one of those highest commissions and everything. In fact, it was mentioned that they also told him that don't buy health insurance now, buy after 22nd of September. That's when the GST goes zero, so you can save another 18% on your premium. So these are the kind of services and that the kind of logics that are running behind these engines. And again, as I said, these are not coming from a person. This was not a person who was suggesting all these things. It was a system that held him doing all this. So great work is being done in these. Another one is, I think, Turtle Mint. I'm not sure if many of you have heard about this. So Turtle Mint is another firm, another InsurTech. What it does, it brings in a lot of expertise. How? So in India, insurance agents play a major role in the distribution factor. So what they do, they have brought all these agents, I mean, a lot of them into their armpit, and you can go use their customer friendly interface. You can choose any agent that you want. They give you, such a curated, personalized insurance experience where you can go and have your coverages settled. Now, I've been talking about all these stories, but what is it there for you? I mean, you as a student, you as a person. The reason why I'm saying all these, telling you that these are products, these are the services, is that so that it instill a feeling of accomplishment or a feeling of motivation in you as to why you should join industry. It is a social industry. First of all, what we do is kind of social work, because whenever someone is in a loss, you get them out of there. Financial distress is a very big problem in India, and especially for the health and roadway safety. We lack the roadway safety, we lack the health safety. As a the typical developing country problems that we have, insurance is one thing that saves you from a lot of these problems. So the basic idea is to help people. Not a guy who's running a development scene. So suppose there's a software developer who's developing a platform for my insurance firm. Even his contribution will be reflected upon the faith that is instilled in the customer. So in that aspect, it is a very great industry to be in. And sometimes we do a lot of pleasure when you see people thanking you, or having the gratitude for you to help them out. So this is why the reason I was telling you that this is why we have such product. We help them, we help the farmers, we help the people in distress, all these things. Now let's come to the part where I think you guys will most probably be, participating in. So as I said at the end of this session, we'll be covering. This is the last part of the session, and we'll be covering what exact job roles are there in the insurance industry for different aspects, for the engineering people, for the commerce people, for the. So first is the software engineer. He's the backbone of any technical platform that is built. The entry salary is from 18 to 15 lakhs depending upon your expertise or the kind of college you come from. And the required skills are programming languages, Python, Java, JavaScript, cloud technologies, these, that. And the career path is also very great. You become a senior engineer, then a tech lead, the engineering manager, and based on progression, you earn a good money. Then come the data scientist. Again, this is one of the most, I would say right now, it is one of the most seeked profession in our field because numbers is a very big issue. And we have to develop some predictive models for risk assessment, for fraud detection, all these things. Again, the skills required are Python, R, machine learning, statistics, data visualization, and data tools, Power BI, as I said, and then Tableau. All these things comes in this side. Then you have your AIML engineer. These are the kind of high paying jobs. And the ones I mentioned, like 8 to 15 to 12 to 25, these are just the entry level salaries that you get. These are not the salaries that you from 12 lakh and 25. No, it's not that. You might get one of these salary packages. It is very easy, trust me. And yeah, so for an AI/ML engineer, we have to build intelligent systems. Automation is one of the key factors that is driving the insurance industry these days. For that, we need a lot of AI/ML engineers. We need to make write scripts. And again, the skills are like deep learning, neural networks, natural language processing, all these things. Then comes your DevOps engineer. So as I said, for the cloud deployments, DevOps is absolutely necessary. So anyone interested in that area, please go for this. Apart from that, there's a blockchain developer also. And yeah, for the DevOps, I think you can do AWS, Azure, Docker, CI/CD pipelines, all those things. All those skills are required. Then comes your commerce careers in InsurTech. Commerce careers, I'll give you this one thing. The most all the insurance companies that are there now, if you see, I think 80 to 90% of them are the ones who are coming from commerce background. I'm not even kidding. These are the people who are somewhere in their point of life or have a sales manager who are selling insurance. So commerce has a very strong foothold in the insurance industry because that is where all the logic comes from. The engineering people can build the systems, engineering people can derive the numbers, but what logic you have to put comes from you guys, the commerce people. So actual analyst. And I think some months ago the IADA chief, he gave the number, like we currently have somewhere around 1000 uh, registered actual analyst. The industry and the country needs 30,000. So that is what they are trying to achieve. Okay, and this is just on based on today's data. But as we grow, as the market grows, of course the requirement will be bigger. So actual analyst is one of the fields, one of the very key fields to get your profession started. Then comes the underwriter. Underwriter is basically the one who, suppose if I want to buy a policy, I fill all those forms. Who does it go to? It goes to underwriter. So this is the guy who decides whether he will provide me that policy or not. What is the pricing of that? So again, a very analyst-based work where you are given a set of risk exposures, and against those you'll be getting your insurance coverage. Then come product managers. Product management is very hip these days. I get a lot of messages on LinkedIn, and lot young people just want to get into product. It is not easy, but it is very interesting. It is so interesting because you get the whole view from start to end of the whole development cycle. You derive the strategy, you develop it, you launch it, you market it. I mean, you are at the forefront of all these things, and that is why if you see a lot, many product managers come from the engineering background, especially from ITs, and there's a reason because they have a management plus the tech part in it. So a product manager doesn't necessarily need to be very tech proficient. It is not the case. You need to know your domain. Okay, you need to know what you to know the management in the sense you can deliver, you can get the, you provide the solutions, you can get the problems from the stakeholders. All these things come under the product management. Then you have insurance consultant. This is sales. This is pure sales. Insurance sales is a bit complicated because it is a push product, not a pull product, first of all. And it is not easy, especially the retail sales. But at a corporate level, and at a corporate level, it's a very high paying job. Even at a retail level, it's a very high paying job. I think the highest paid people in insurance are the salespeople. I mean, the packages that these guys get are enormous, and the entry level it is a struggle also. In the start, you might get some cold calls. You might be asked to go to an intermediary, go to a broker agent who's not very friendly. Clients don't want to listen to you, and these things. You need to be very informative about the product that you're selling. You need to be very prompt with the problem that they are facing and provide them a solution their instance. But that gets paid very well. I think most of the insurance companies are all sales focused. So salesperson's career in insurance industry is great unless you are ready for that grind, unless you are ready to learn all those products that are there, and of course people skill. Now comes to the arts and humanities, the human touch. This human touch is very, and can't stress enough how important it is. There was a study done by PwC. They showed that the generation today, they'll search all the insurance products on your phone, okay, and they'll search for n number of products, and they get fully informed about all the products that they do, but they won't buy from that phone. They'll choose to go to that agent or broker only, because when you're putting so much of money every year into a product which will save you for which will be so much helpful for you in the future, you need to make sure that a human at the end uh, uh, you know gives you that comfort in solving your problem. So I think human touch can never be extracted from insurance industry, because as long as industry, it's an industry that thrives on trust, and trust comes from human touch only. This is what I believe. So for the fields, they are digital marketing specialists. We come up with products, and the campaign has to be designed. They have to design in such a way that it hits the right people, it shows the right message. So this comes from digital marketing specialist. Communication manager, very important. Anytime, I mean, I don't know how many of you are proactively on LinkedIn, but these days anyone who faces a claim issue, they straight away go to LinkedIn and put in a whole post, and that brings a lot of damage to the reputation of the company. So what happens is, these communication managers, they come in that aspect, and uh, they are the ones who are the forefront of this problem. They see those problems and they quickly provide solutions. and whatever damage image that the company is facing, they come up with the new strategies, they come up with the new thought process, and tell it to the consumers, tell it to the stakeholders, to how we can get better in terms of our marketing. Then your legal and compliance officer, again very important and very scarce in the industry. There's a very huge demand for this. So if you're in college and you are opting for something which is uh, because having a very key knowledge about such a vast industry is very scarce. Not a lot of people are into this field, honestly. So someone who understands all the legality of it, someone who understands all the jargons of it, so all the statutes that are related to it, these are the high paying people. And this is again, you can see these are just the entry level job, the salary packages. So again, but legal and compliance officer, every company is legally obliged to have a certain a whole legal department who will take care of these things. And compliance is becoming every day very strict because this is a regulated industry, and compliance is very very important for every company. Otherwise they'll face a number of penalties and all those things. I mean, a couple of days back, policy bazaar, the August, in the month of August, they faced a penalty of around 4 to 5 crores, I think, 2 to 3 crores, or maybe one of these numbers. And the reason was that they weren't compliant enough. There were a lot of lapses on their end. The kind of products and the kind of services they are pushing forward weren't compliant enough. So again, this job requires a very high analytical and very high understanding of the subject matter. Then comes your customer experience manager, and these are again very important. Whenever I design a platform, this is the guy I go to, who will tell me exactly whether this current platform outlook and this current flow, this process, and not just the tech process, the normal process also, which might be offline process, it has to be consumer friendly. If it is not, then it's a big problem. So this is where the arts and humanities people come in, because of their creativity, because of their communication skills, because of their human centric thinking. So I can't stress enough how important arts and humanities are to the insurance sector. So it is not just for the engineering people or the commerce people, it is for everyone. This industry provides you jobs for every single aspect. And finally, coming to the demand, the domain demand. Now, a lot of you are doing engineering in certain field. A lot of you doing English honors, chemical, BSc in chemical. Then some might be in sociology. There are a number of subjects. But if you are trying to get into this industry, it is very imperative, especially for someone who wants to get into consultancy. It is very, very important these days that you pick a domain. Without the domain expertise in today's time, consultancy has no meaning. Recently, there has been a lot of problems in the consultancy world. A lot of layoffs happened. A lot of clients moved from one consultancy into another, not sticking to one. Why? Because till now, consultancies were providing the solution architects who were general, like they weren't domain specific. So we are in an age where domain expertise is very important. I'm not just saying from an insurance perspective, whatever field you want to get into, make sure that you have the domain knowledge of it. Whatever the basic product that your industry is selling, you must know that. You must know the principle behind it. So whenever you me in Infosys, we come across a lot of client problems which are based on problems which are faced by insurance industries only. Our clients are basically insurance clients. Okay, and these are big insurance companies which are facing these problems. And anyone who's not from the industry, who doesn't understand the language, who doesn't understand the process, who doesn't understand the product, has no use in it. Because client these days ask, if if they tell you a problem and you give them a solution, they ask whether this solution has been implemented personally by you or not. whether this solution has any backing, whether this solution has any pre-built framework, whether this solution has any credibility in the market. So that is our domain expertise matters a lot. And anyone after college who's looking to get into TCS consultancy, domain consultancy, Infosys, McKinsey, Bain, DCG, all these firms, they make sure that you have that one domain expertise with you. Apart from the technical side, apart from your skills, the one domain expertise is very, very important these days. So I hope uh, in future, whatever business that you go into, whatever field that you pick, you make sure that the domain is known to you. Because I'll give a very good example also. Us, a lot of times there's a problem faced by the business analysts, that the software development team is not well versed with the insurance principles, and that is why I'm not able to tell what exact system has to be built upon. Any developer, any architect, any engineer who's known, who has this domain expertise, who knows how the products are working in the actual scenario, these guys turn out to be more profitable. And I see a lot of people who come up to me to ask for the product level jobs, but my only concern is, if you haven't spent at least some time in the industry, if you are not well versed with the jargons of industry, it won't be beneficial for the company to hire you, to be very honest. Because if you don't have expertise, you'll go to the people who have expertise. So a dependency in deriving a solution is dependent upon the other person, which is not what we are looking for, to be very frank. So I hope this brings us to the last. This was the last, and I hope you got a lot of clarity from what we are. I've explained all my slides. So I think we'll go to the question and answer sessions. Nusha, I think you can help me over here.
Yeah, Bridget. So what we can do is like we can ask the students to share the questions in the feedback form. Once collected, we'll share it with you.
Sure.
So yes. So thank you so much for that insightful presentation. So I'm sure our students have gained a lot of clarity on how InsurTech is transforming the insurance sector and opening new possibilities for young professionals. So as we wrap up today's live session, I would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Abhijit Singh for sharing his knowledge and experience with us. And to all our viewers, thank you for joining us live on YouTube. We hope you found this session valuable and enriching. Stay tuned for more such industry expert sessions. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and thank you once again. Thank you so much, Abhijit.